I'm still shaking my head, trying to wrap my mind around what went down at my cabin last month. Picture this. I'm out on my 150-acre spread in Wyoming's Wind River Valley, a place I picked for its solitude, tucked against a pristine lake with mountains guarding my back. My name's Caleb Turner, 43, a retired Green Beret with 22 years in military intelligence, just looking for a quiet life after decades of chaos. That peace got shattered when 3 strangers in crisp police uniforms showed up, flashing badges, waving official-looking papers, and threatening to seize my land over fake environmental violations. They called themselves Silver Creek HOA enforcement officers, acting like they had the law on their side to rummage through my property. They figured I was an easy mark-a-loan veteran who'd cave and pay whatever they demanded. But they didn't know who they were dealing with, and their perfect con was about to crash and burn. Let me set the scene. It was early July 2025, and I'd been living on this Wyoming ranch for 2 years, healing from the weight of missions I'd rather forget. The cabin sits right on the lake, perfect for fishing and silencing the noise in my head. I was finally sleeping through the night, learning to let go of the hypervigilance that kept me alive overseas. That morning, I was fixing a loose board on my dock when the mail carrier dropped off a certified letter that screamed trouble. Thick, fancy paper with an embossed seal. It came from the Silver Creek Homeowners Association, claiming my property violated the 2024 Clearwater Conservation Act. The letter demanded an inspection within 7 days, or I'd face a $30,000 fine and possible land seizure under Wyoming Code 54-3-210. Confusion hit first. I bought this place specifically to avoid HOAs. My training kicked in, that gut feeling screaming something was off. I dug into my files, confirming my deed was clean. No HOA, no covenants, just free and clear ranch land. The letter referenced laws that sounded real enough to fool most folks. I Googled the Clearwater Conservation Act and found a slick website with government-style logos, fake legislative records, and environmental studies that looked legit. When I called the number listed, a woman named Eleanor Brooks answered, her voice dripping with authority. "Mr. Turner, I'm the enforcement director for Silver Creek HOA. I trust you received our compliance notice." When I pushed back, saying my land wasn't under any HOA, she was ready. The new conservation laws automatically enrolled all lakefront properties into regional oversight for ecological protection. She even mentioned my military service, like she'd done her homework. "We have special processes for veterans, Mr. Turner. I want to ensure you're not blindsided by these regulations." That was my first red flag. She knew too much, and it felt personal. The documents cited real Wyoming codes, and Eleanor positioned herself as my savior from government overreach. She claimed my cabin's septic system, dock placement, and runoff violated new laws, with fixes costing $10,000 to $20,000. The alternative? State penalties up to $50,000 and property seizure. She pressed hard, saying her team could inspect tomorrow to save me from harsher state action. My gut screamed scam, but I played along, agreeing to the inspection while setting up my own plan. That night, I went full intel mode. The Silver Creek HOA had no business license in Wyoming. Eleanor Brooks had no environmental credentials. The website was a masterpiece of deception, but it didn't hold up under scrutiny. I set up discreet cameras around my property and checked my defense-sold habits die hard. By morning, I'd learned this wasn't just about me. My veteran network reported 15 other lakefront properties, all owned by vets, targeted with similar scams. These weren't amateurs. They were predators who'd studied their prey. At 1 p.m., on July 10th, a black Ford Explorer with fake government plates rolled up. Out stepped a giant named Officer Grant, 6 feet 4 inches in a Navy uniform with HOA police patches, complete with a taser and handcuffs. A young woman, Sophie, carried high-end gear, a tablet, camera, and a briefcase stamped with Silver Creek HOA's logo. Eleanor Brooks led the pack, all business in a tailored suit, clutching a folder of legal documents. They moved like a seasoned crew, each playing their role. Grant on security, Sophie on documentation, Eleanor calling the shots. "Mr. Turner, we're here for your environmental compliance check," Grant barked, his tone pure cop. Eleanor shook my hand, all smiles. "This should be quick. We'll assess your cabin and lakefront for compliance." They rattled off violations. My cabin was too close to fish spawning zones. My septic system threatened groundwater. My dock violated navigation rules, and my land's drainage endangered the watershed. Sophie's tablet displayed official software logging GPS coordinates and photos, while Grant measured distances with surveyor-grade tools. The total? $52,000 in fixes, plus $27,000 in penalties. But Eleanor had a deal. Pay $18,000 for their expedited compliance program, and they'd handle everything. Refuse, and they'd seize my ranch within 30 days. Grant's hand hovered near his handcuffs as he stressed their police authority. I stalled, asking for paperwork, which Eleanor provided forged documents that looked real enough to fool most. I played dumb, saying I'd review my finances and meet them tomorrow at 1 p.m. After they left, I pored over my camera footage and their documents. The legal jargon was off, the statute formatting wrong, and their behavior rehearsed. I reached out to my veteran contacts, learning this crew had hit others with identical tactics. Digging deeper, I tailed their explorer to a luxury lodge in Jackson Hole, where they met a fourth-persona sharp-dressed man with a laptop, clearly the boss. From a concealed spot, I overheard them discussing a Wyoming target list of 10 veteran-owned properties worth $600,000 in scams. Sophie's tablet screen, caught on my telephoto lens, showed a spreadsheet with 40 veterans' names, property values, and psychological profiles. My entry read, Caleb Turner, Green Beret, $900,000 ranch, lives alone, likely PTSD, high compliance probability. This was a national operation targeting vets, exploiting our trust in authority. I contacted the FBI through my network, reaching Agent Laura Bennett, who'd been tracking similar frauds. She confirmed losses of $1.5 million across Idaho, Nevada, and Colorado. We planned a sting. I'd let the scammers return, live-stream the confrontation to veteran groups, and let the FBI swoop in. By 1 p.m. the next day, my cameras were rolling, streaming to 1,200 viewers. Eleanor, Grant, and Sophie arrived, more aggressive this time. Mr. Turner, do you have the $18,000? Eleanor demanded. I questioned their authority, and Grant stepped forward, hand on his taser. We're authorized to seize this property if you don't comply. Sophie's tablet showed seizure software, but she hesitated when I asked to see it. Looking at my hidden camera, I said, funny thing, I called Wyoming's environmental agency yesterday. Guess what they said about your Clearwater Act? The room went silent. Grant lunged, yelling, turn off that camera. My training took over. In 3 seconds, I had him on the floor, wrist locked, arm numb, knee on his back. The live stream exploded with 5,000 viewers cheering. Green Beret takedown. I held up a death certificate. Meet the real Eleanor Brooks, dead for 8 months. You're Melissa Carter, wanted for fraud in 4 states. Melissa panicked as Sophie screamed. You said this was legal. Grant groaned. You got me into federal crimes. The viewer count hit 7,000 as I revealed Melissa's true identity. FBI SUVs rolled in, and Agent Bennett arrested Melissa for wire fraud, identity theft, and racketeering. Grant and Sophie, duped into the scam, cooperated, revealing fake contracts and forged credentials. The fallout was massive. The FBI uncovered Operation Silverstream, a fraud ring stealing $2 million from veterans across 10 states. They recovered $1.4 million for 110 victims. Melissa got 20 years. Grant and Sophie got probation and community service. My story hit national news CNN, NBC, Veterans Journal, leading to congressional hearings and new laws protecting veterans. My ranch became a veteran hub, hosting retreats and a fraud hotline. But 3 weeks later, a blocked call chilled me. You cost us $2.5 million, Turner. Pay $600,000, or your ranch won't be safe. I fortified my defenses, joined the FBI as a consultant, and dared them to come. At a barbecue for 250 veterans, Agent Bennett toasted, "Welcome to the fight, Caleb." The war wasn't over, but I'd found my new mission. Where are you reading from? Should veterans take justice into their own hands like I did, or leave it to the feds? Was I reckless to confront armed scammers alone? Drop a comment, hit like, and subscribe. Let's keep exposing these predators together.